What's going on, guys? It's New York Prepper here. In this video, we're going to do another penetration test with the 44 Magnum. This time we're going to see how many sheets of sheetrock we can shoot through with some 44 Magnum bear loads, all right? And the sheetrock that we're using is just some basic 1/2 inch thick sheetrock. And I've cut them into 1 foot by 1 foot squares, and we're gonna stack them up and see how many sheets of regular 1/2 inch sheetrock we can shoot through with these bear loads, all right, 44 Magnum bear loads. And so the bear loads that we're testing today, on the left here, you got the Buffalo Boar Dangerous Game Heavy 44 Magnum mono metal. It's a 265 grain bullet, and it's supposed to be traveling at 1,425 feet per second. Out of my 2 3/4 inch barrel snub-nose 44, it's probably going to be losing about 150 feet per second on all of these loads. All right, so keep that in mind. I'm going to be about 150 feet per second slower than the standard factory numbers that they give you here. So 265 grain solid copper bear load from Buffalo Boar. This is a bullet that's made by Lehigh Defense, okay? All these bullets have very wide, flat meat plats, and those meat plats help with penetration and straight line penetration, okay? Moving on from the mono metal, the solid copper mono metal, here we have in the middle the Underwood ammo, 305 grain hard cast bear load, traveling at 1,325 feet per second. And on the right, we have another Buffalo Boar bear load, and that one is also 305 grains. It's a hard cast bullet, and it's also traveling at 1,325 feet per second, just like the Underwood is. So these two bullets here are the Underwood and the Buffalo Boar hard cast have the same velocities and the same weights. And the Buffalo Boar mono metal is lighter. It's 265 grains, and it's a copper bullet, okay? And so we're gonna see how many sheets of sheetrock we can shoot through. So let's see what happens, guys. And also, I'm curious to see which one of these loads is gonna penetrate the deepest. All right, is it gonna be the Buffalo Boar, or is it gonna be the Underwood? All right, which one is gonna be the champion? And what we're also going to do after this test is we're going to repeat this test, but we're going to shoot into some 2x10s, and we're going to see how many 2x10s these loads can shoot through as well. All right, so based on the sheetrock test and the 2x10 test, we're going to be able to see which one of these three popular factory bear loads is going to penetrate the deepest. Okay, so let's see what happens, guys. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So the first shot of the day is going to be the Buffalo Boar Dangerous Game Heavy 44 Magnum. This is a 265 grain solid copper bullet, and it's supposed to be traveling at 1,425 feet per second. And this is what it looks like right here. All right, and out of my 2 3/4 inch barrel revolver, it's probably going to be going around, I would say, probably like 1,250 feet per second, 1,250 to 1,300 feet per second. All right, so let's see what happens. And the shooting distance is about 5 yards. Let's see what happens here, guys. The recoil was not that bad at all. All right, guys, we got a pretty interesting result here from that Buffalo Boar solid copper bare load. Looks like it blew out the back, and shot through 27 sheets of sheetrock here. So I'm gonna have to go get more sheetrock because it looks like it blew out the back here. Definitely wasn't expecting that. That's very impressive results. So I'm gonna go get more sheetrock and add a little bit more, and hopefully I have enough to slow this bullet down. Alright guys, I added another 16 sheets of sheetrock. This is 1/2 inch thick sheetrock. So we have 43 sheets of sheetrock here. And if you do the math, that's probably about 21.5 inches of sheetrock. So hopefully this will be enough to catch the bullet. If not, I'm going to have to repeat the test because I didn't bring enough sheetrock. This is all I got, so let's see what happens. Alright guys, so here we'll take shot number 2 with the Buffalo Boar 265 grain solid copper bare load. And we'll see if 43 sheets of sheetrock is enough to stop it. Alright. Alright guys, it looks like that was enough to stop the bullet. So we're going to test the other rounds now. We're going to test the hard casts. Underwood 305 grain hard cast and Buffalo Boar 305 grain hard cast. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so now we're going to shoot the Buffalo Boar 305 grain hard cast. This one's traveling at 1,325 feet per second. And out of my 2 3/4 inch barrel, it's probably going to be about 1,200 feet per second. Okay, so let's see what happens, what kind of penetration we get. Take 2 shots here. All right, guys, so now we're going to test the Underwood 305 grain hard cast bear load. This one's also going at 1325 feet per second out of a factory test barrel. Out of my 2 3/4 inch barrel, it's probably going closer to 1200 feet per second. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 shots and let's see what happens. If you guys do tests like this, always make sure you wear your eye protection in case you get some kind of debris that shoots back at you, or ricochet or something like that. All right, especially if you're shooting up close like I am right now. All right, guys, here we go. Underwood 305 grain hard cast bear load. All right, guys, so we got some pretty interesting results here. So the bullet that penetrated the most was the Underwood ammo 305 grain hard cast. The Underwood ammo penetrated the most out of all these rounds. It penetrated deeper than the Buffalo Boar 305 grain hard cast, and it penetrated deeper than the 265 grain mono metal. So the Underwood wins the competition in this particular penetration test, but the Buffalo Boar 305 grain hard cast was close behind the Underwood, okay? So it was only 1 sheet less than the Underwood, all right? So they're both pretty much the same, but the Underwood beat the Buffalo Boar hard cast just by 1 more sheet, maybe 2 sheets, okay? So the Underwood 305 grain hard cast penetrated through 32 sheets of 1/2 inch sheetrock, okay? It penetrated through all of this sheetrock that you see here, okay? The Buffalo Boar 305 grain hard cast penetrated through 31 sheets of 1/2 inch sheetrock. And the Buffalo Boar 265 grain mono metal, the best penetration that we got today, it penetrated through 27 sheets, and that was the first shot of the day. And that was the one where I had to add more sheets of sheetrock because it penetrated through all the ones that I put. I didn't think it would shoot through that many. So 27 is the best number that I can give to you guys. But we also found 2 other bullets from the 265 grain Buffalo Boars. 2 of them were stuck in boards number 24 and 25, okay? So, you know, the best penetration we got was it passed through 27 boards on the first shot, and then we recovered 2 bullets at board 24 and 25. It's potential that, you know, if I shot on a cold bore with the 265 grainers, it may have penetrated even more than 27, but it penetrated through 27 on the first shot, okay? So that's a massive amount of sheetrock, guys. That's an extreme amount of sheetrock. If you're talking about interior walls of buildings, you know, you're talking about 30 sheets of sheetrock divided by 2, that's 15 walls, okay? So it could penetrate at least through 15 walls, the bare loads. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat this test with some soft points and expanding bullets, and we're going to see how many sheets the expanding bullets can pass through. But 32 sheets of sheetrock for the Underwood bare load. That's the most powerful 44 Magnum standard 44 Magnum load that I've tested so far, okay, in all of my penetration tests that I've done with it. It's the most powerful standard pressure 44 Magnum load from the factory that I can find, okay? Now you can get plus P, and the plus P will go a little bit deeper, all right? But so I'm very impressed with that Underwood, and also the Buffalo Boar, the hard casts, they both penetrated well, and also the mono metal penetrated through 27 sheets, which is just absolutely insane. So I want to just go through each sheet of sheetrock one by one so you guys can see. And here's the first sheet here, okay, and I'll just show you guys where I was shooting. So we had 3 shots here with the Buffalo Boar 305 grain hard cast. We had 1 shot in the middle with the 265 grain, and that was the shot, I believe, that went through all of the 27 sheets, okay? And then we had some Underwood ammo shots over here. I was trying to group them in separate areas. So that's why you have one group here, you have the Underwoods here, and then you have some of the mono metals here, okay? I was trying to separate them as much as possible, all right? So let's go through these sheets one by one so you guys can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this piece over here so you guys can use it as a reference when we're going through it. So here are this is sheet number 2. Here's the 3 Buffalo Boars. Okay, here are the Underwoods. Okay, so there's sheet number 2. Okay, sheet number 3. Sheet number 4. There's sheet number 4. Sheet number 5. Okay. There's sheet number 6. Sheet number 7. Sheet number 8. Sheet number 9. Sheet number 10. Sheet number 11. Actually, I had to number all of them so I wouldn't forget where they were. This is sheet number 12. They're still going through sheet number 12. There's sheet number 13. Sheet number 14 right here. Sheet number 15. There's sheet number 16. Sheet number 17. Sheet number 18. Okay, you can see they're still passing through, most of them, compared to the sheet number 1. Here's sheet number 19. Sheet number 20. Sheet 21. Sheet 22, okay, you can see some of the bullets are starting to be stopped by this point. Sheet number 22. Here's sheet 23, okay. You can see the Underwood and the 265 grain and the Buffalo Boar still passing through. All right, here's sheet number 24, okay, and then here we have one of the 265 grainers was stuck in sheet 24, okay. See that? Right there, it was kind of on an angle. This is the 265 grain solid copper from Lehigh Defense. All right, that's sheet 24. Let's put that over here. And then here we have sheet 25. We have another 265 grain mono metal stuck in there. Okay, there's the base of it right there. All right, but you could see that the buffalo boars are still passing through. One of the Underwoods right here is still passing through, and then one of the 265 grainers is still passing through at sheet 25. Here's sheet 26. Here is sheet 27. Okay, so here are the 3 buffalo boar 305 grain hard casts. This is the 265 grain mono metal, and here is the Underwood hard cast. Okay, still going. And this is sheet 27, and you could see the exit hole from the 265 grain mono metal. All right, you see the exit hole here, the piece of paper on the back that's ripped here. Okay, you can see if I push my finger through, you can see that exit hole here. Let's see if we can push that paper out. There's one of the exit holes from the 265 grain mono metal. This is the one that penetrated through 27 sheets. This was the first shot of the day. And so it passed through 27 sheets, and the other 2 shots with the mono metal, they penetrated through 24 and 25. Okay, so interesting results. I'm curious if it would have penetrated through more than 27. So now at sheet 28, we still have the buffalo boars here, and then we have the Underwood here. Okay, so there's sheet 29. And here we have sheet 30. We have one of the buffalo boars stuck here. Okay, if you could compare this to the first sheet so you guys are aware. This is buffalo boar 305 grain, so one of them is stuck here. Let's put that there for reference. And then we have sheet 31. And then sheet 32, we have 2 buffalo boars stuck in sheet 32. All right, you can see the bases of the bullets here. All right, and they're kind of a little bit crooked. They're not in a perfect straight line. They're a little bit lopsided. All right, which is not always a good sign if they're a little bit too lopsided. That means that the bullet's having difficulty staying straight, and that could be the shape of the bullet. I don't think it's the velocity. I think it's the shape of these bullets. Maybe the nose is a little too long and it's not, maintaining a good shape. And then finally we have sheet number 33, and here you have the Underwood. There's the base of the Underwood. Okay, you could see it's stuck. This is the Underwood. It's one of these Underwoods here. And you can see the base is it's perfectly straight inside of the sheet, which is a good sign. That means it had nice straight penetration. All right, so 32 sheets of sheetrock for the Underwood ammo, 305 grain hard cast. Very impressive for a 44 Magnum. I'm going to repeat this test with some soft points and expanding bullets, but very good performance out of all these bullets, but especially the Underwood outperformed the buffalo boar. And so far in all of my tests I've done, the Underwood has outperformed any other standard pressure 44 Magnum bear load. Okay, now plus P is a different story, but if we're talking about the heaviest that you can go while maintaining, standard pressure and not going over SAMI specs, the Underwood 305 grain hard cast bear load is your best choice for your 44 Magnum. As you can see, it maintained a nice straight line penetration. You can see it's perfectly straight positioning inside of the sheetrock. It's not crooked. Okay, really good performance with these bullets. I absolutely love the Underwood bear loads. All right, and it's actually my bullet of choice for my 44 Magnum bear loads. All right, so highly recommend it. The buffalo boar didn't do too bad either. Just 1 sheet less. All right, So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Let me know what other kinds of tests you want me to do with the 44 Magnum. And I'm going to be testing some reloads pretty soon also. So that'll be pretty interesting. And I'm going to do a whole series on reloading and how to reload. All right. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what other tests you want me to do. And as always, take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere. And I just wanted to show you some of the bullets that I recovered. So here we have the 305 grain Buffalo Boar hard cast bare load, and this is what the bullet looks like. Then here we have the 265 grain Buffalo Boar mono metal. All right, and that bullet's made by Lehigh Defense. And then here we have the Underwood. The Underwood was the winner of this competition here. You could see the Underwood, it has that red Teflon coating, which is supposed to protect your barrel from leading. Okay, but I wanted to just show you guys the differences in shape after these bullets were shot through the sheetrock. And you could clearly see that the mono metal is the longest bullet. It's also the lightest. And the reason why is because copper is less dense than lead. So it takes a larger bullet to achieve the same length as a lead bullet does, which can pose problems for reloading, all right, because it's hard to get enough powder into your case when you have such a long bullet, all right. And then here we have the Buffalo Boar hard cast, and what's interesting here is you can actually see that the Buffalo Boar hard cast here and the Underwood hard cast are actually not the same length, all right. You can see that the Buffalo Boar is actually longer, okay. And I think the reason why is because they have a different nose profile. Okay, the Underwood is a wide flat nose, while the Buffalo Boar is a long flat nose. All right, so the Buffalo Boar has a slightly longer nose, and the meat plat is not as wide as. And so the wide flat nose on the Underwood seems to stabilize the bullet better, because it's a little bit shorter and it has a wider nose. Okay, if you look at the noses of these bullets here, you can see that the Underwood has a slightly wider nose and it's a little shorter, and I think that helps maintain its stability a little bit and straight line penetration, versus the Buffalo Boar has a long flat nose, which could potentially cause it to, you know, tumble a little bit, or not just tumble, but also maybe veer off course, you know, and not maintain a perfectly straight line. All right, but pretty cool results here. So just wanted to show you guys that. And as you can see, the 265 grain mono metal is the longest one out of all of these. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Take care.